you, Lord. Hi, guys. I wanted to share something really quick. Probably should have done a live, but I don't know. I'm just going to talk. I was thinking about something that happened a few years ago when I was substitute teaching. And I remember I was substituting a fifth grade class. And there was this young girl, about 10. And I remember I was watching her play with other kids. And she was playing with the boys and with the girls, but with the boys, I remember her being so rough. I remember how she talked to them even. Now she's only 10, but I remember she was real sassy. She had an attitude out of this world, okay? And everything she said was like rough, in a rough tone, with anger, even she can go from playing to if a boy joked with her or something, she'd get, angry and say something and do all this, all that. Okay. So, we kind of know, you can kind of imagine what I'm describing. Okay. How certain women act. And I remember she was talking so rough that to the point I came over to her and I said, "Hey," I said, "stop doing that." I said, "Why are you talking like that?" And she was just, she was yelling and everything. And I said, "Why are you talking like that?" I said, "You don't have to yell. Why are you doing that?" And she said, "That's how my mama talk." And I remember I looked at her and I said, "That don't make it right. That don't make it right." And even though she was a fifth grader, I felt like this was a teachable moment. And I said, "Listen, don't no man want an angry black woman. Don't no man want an angry black woman. No man wants an angry, nagging woman, period." But just thinking about my culture and the situation with this little black girl, that's what I told her. Because we see that too much. We've seen that over time. And we know that it goes deep. It goes deep, but it has to be exposed. Remember, we're in a time of exposing. Okay, we're in a time of exposing that spirit of anger. All right, we have to dig deep to expose why we're like that, why some women are like that. But, I don't want to get into that. I wanted to tell that story because I was thinking about how I remember hearing this psychologist one day, and she was talking to the single mothers who were raising sons. Specifically, that was what she was talking about. We know that there are single mothers raising daughters as well, but she was talking to the single mothers raising sons, and she said, "Mothers, you have to remember you're raising someone's husband." And that really hit me because at the time I was like in a bad relationship. I was with someone who was not a good father figure, someone who, I don't know, was using me, but because I thought that the love I had for him was love, I did, I took on roles that I shouldn't have been taking. I was working, providing, and, he worked when he wanted to, which was very rare. But, he played the game a lot and smoked weed, anyway. So um, when she said that, it really hit me because I thought to myself, wow, like, that's true. You're okay. I thought to myself, like, wow, that's interesting. That's interesting to think, that changed so much in me to hear that, because it changed my perspective, of how I should be thinking about who I have around my sons. I have 3 sons, and so thinking about who I should have around my sons, like, it just really, it went very deep in me. It hit home in a lot of ways. And so, but what was coming to me with the story of that young lady, because I'm witnessing women who are still that angry black woman, but in a worse way, in a worse way. And it's driving a lot of men away, okay? But I wanted to say to the mothers who are raising daughters on their own, or just the mothers, you could be married, you know? You don't have to be single, you can be married, okay? But the mothers who have daughters, remember you're raising someone's husband. You're raising someone's, I'm sorry, you're raising someone's wife, okay? And another thing that I heard one time before was looking at yourself, okay, as a woman. Would you want your son to marry you? Like, would you want your son to marry you? And fathers, would you want your daughter to marry you? You know, it's like, remember, we don't live in a time where we are able to say, do as I say, not as I do. Okay, that didn't work then, but we know that years ago, there was always a hush hush factor, a silence thing. You know, you don't speak about what's going on in this house, you know, whatever the case may be. That's why a lot of things took place within the household, you know, molestation, rapes, abuse of all kind, you know, because the enemy wants to keep you silent. But I'm saying that so much, and you know, it bothers me how a mother who is raising daughters thinks that it's okay to curse in front of them and act a certain way in front of them. But, you know, it's like you don't see that you're instilling this in them. This is what you're instilling in your daughters, to grow up and act just like you. And it made me think about, I believe it's Proverbs 21 somewhere. It talks about how, you know, for a man, it's better to be living on the rooftop than in the house with a contentious woman or a nagging wife. Okay, it's better. And think about it, like, who wants to be in the house with someone who nags all the time? And with nagging comes name calling. You know, name calling comes with that. Abuse comes with that, you know, in more ways than one: emotional, mental, and sometimes physical. Okay, so much comes with that. So I just felt compelled to say that, to say, mothers who are raising daughters, remember that you are raising someone's wife. You're raising someone's wife, and we want to raise virtuous, godly women. That's who we want to raise. We don't want to raise anybody who's out here trying to be somebody like a fake Instagram model. Okay, we don't want to raise women like that, because remember in Proverbs 31 it says that favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but the woman who fears the Lord, she will be praised. Okay? A godly woman will be praised not only by her husband, but by her children. Her children call her blessed. So, is your husband praising you in the right way? You know, is your husband saying good things about you even when you're in his presence? Is he able to say good things about you? You know, we need to you got to spend time with the Lord in order for him to change you and making you a clean heart. Okay? You have to spend time with the Lord. And if you're not saved, that's the first step. You have to be saved. You have to repent for all of this foolishness. And we have to expose these demons, remember? Okay? These spiritual strongholds that have followed you from generation to generation. Poverty, okay? Anger. All of it, you know? It's so much. It is so much. Think about how you're feeling, how you feel on any given day. Bitterness, okay? If you're feeling that way, call it out. Say, I renounce that spirit of bitterness. Like we have to. I put out a video alive a few days ago, and I said, the Lord said the demons are hiding. We have to expose them. We have to continue to expose these demons, because they're going to continue to dwell within us, and it's only going to get worse. And it not only affects you, but it affects others. Okay, it affects the children that you have. You will begin to mold your children to be just like you. Okay, a witch or a warlock. You will begin to mold your children to be just like you. All right? Guys, I just wanted to share that. You know, that's something I will talk about more when it comes to, how women are, and how women treat men. And, so many women have lost a good man because they didn't know how to treat him. They didn't know how to treat him, and hey, that's how it goes sometimes. But you know what? Remember, parents, you're raising someone's wife and you're raising someone's husband. I don't care what you tell them to do, they're watching you. They are watching you. Even the sons are watching their moms to see, their kids, they don't realize that they're being manipulated at times. They're being molded. They don't realize it because it's just like a child who learns to talk. Okay? When he grows up in the household, the first word he learns usually is mama or no, a lot of the times, because that's what the adult is saying a lot, because the baby is very curious, the toddler is curious, you know what I mean? But they're learning because they hear others around them talking. Think about that. That's how they're learning. Okay? That's how they're learning. It's the same with our actions. It's the same with our actions. That is exactly how the children are learning what type of man to choose, what type of woman to choose. Okay? If your mom was a nagging woman, chances are you're gonna find that same type of woman. You're gonna be attracted to that same type of woman. And a lot of times, the spirit that's within those women are Jezebel spirits, narcissist spirits. That's what the world calls it, a narcissist. Okay, but it's really a Jezebel spirit, and so many other spirits come with that spirit. All right. And the man can have a Jezebel spirit too. Those narcissists, they're Jezebel spirits. Okay? So just pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. And then even with the spirits, the scripture talks about how the spirits, it leaves and it can't find a place, to settle. So it goes back to where it was comfortable. Okay? As you move from person to person, as you move from boyfriend to boyfriend and girlfriend to girlfriend, wife to wife, husband to husband, those spirits are only getting stronger. That's why there's always a failure in a new relationship. Whatever the relationship is, there's always a failure because you haven't dealt with the spirit that has you bound, that stronghold. You haven't dealt with it. You haven't dealt with it. You haven't exposed it and called it out. So every time you move to another person, that spirit in them is worse. It continues to get worse, and it gets harder and harder to break free from it. All right? And this is the same thing that's going to happen with our children if we don't stop it right now. Look at ourselves, take accountability, okay, for how we are. Sadly, some people won't because they've been turned over to a depraved mind, but some people will. So I just wanted to say that. Okay. I love you guys. Bless you. Have a great day. Bye.